can you explain a little bit to our listeners, for those who maybe heard the word plant medicine and not really understanding what it is? Can you share a bit more? What is plant medicine, and where do mushrooms fit in that? I mean, we've all heard of taking mushrooms to go and have a journey, but it's more than that. It's not just a drug that you take to escape reality, but plant medicine is much more to it. Can you please share with us and our listeners what it is and how the mushrooms fit into that?
So thank you for asking about plant medicine. I actually work with all sorts of plant medicine. Psilocybin is the only psychedelic that I work with, but I actually work with herbal medicine as well. And so for me, the plant medicine that I work with, whether it's mushrooms or pine needles or holy basil or rose, they have a spirit. And we can tap into that spirit and ask the plants for guidance because we are all connected, right? Because we are all one. And plant medicine is so profound in this way that you don't even have to necessarily consume it in order to even get some benefit from it, right? We can literally just think about it. We can smell it, we can invoke it in some way and get the benefits from it. So for the listeners who are questioning about psilocybin, where mushrooms fit in, as I was saying about intention, like we can consume mushrooms for recreational purposes, right? And to go have fun and that kind of thing. And you're going to have that kind of experience. You know, if the set and setting is good times, then you'll have a good time. It also works very well for healing that way because if we have the intention to heal childhood trauma, that's actually what our mind's focused on. And the plant medicine comes in and says, okay, here is what you need to know, right? And lays it all out for us. It is a reflection of our own inner world, as well as an elevation up out of ourselves and a connection to that is what is greater than us. But because it's all connected, it's just one, channel, right? We actually have access to this all of the time, but we're so blocked, right? And that's where the plant medicine comes in. It helps to open things up for us so that we have an easeful connection. So just going back, touching on my story again for a moment, I tried to heal my depression on my own. I did about 10 years of like self-help, right? Where I read books and I did journaling and I did mind mapping and I did all of these things all by myself. And nothing worked until I went and did the healing journey. And I think there's two reasons why. First, the plant medicine cracked open the doors. So it felt like all of the work that I had been doing on myself for the past 10 years sort of came crashing through the door all at once because the mushrooms opened the door. It dissolved the block that was in the way, right? And I was able to then start to embody and integrate like 10 years of self-help. And the second reason was healing doesn't happen alone. So I was trying so hard to do it by myself. And it doesn't happen when we do it by ourselves, or at least it happens so slowly that we don't even notice. So I think the other missing piece there is having a witness, right? We really do need a witness to our healing in order for it to happen. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did, and really beautifully. And you touched on something, is the not doing it alone,
Mm,
is having a guide or a mentor, or as your words, a witness. Is quite often we do try it on our own because we feel that we should, or we might not know the right people, or for whatever reason. And yet, yourself, it worked when you had that witness. And a lot of our guests have that person who guides them or helps them. And it's quite often when, we've been on that journey, we then become guides to help the next lot on their journey, who then become guides. And it's almost like a pay it forward type of process. But we are not, as humans, we are individual, we are unique, but we are not alone. We need that connection, that companionship or that the tribe, whatever words you want it, but we do need to have those others helping us, guiding us, supporting us, witnessing what it is that we're doing. And even on the other side is the accountability and the pushing and, pushing us beyond our boundaries or our capabilities to see how far we can go. So we do need others. So thank you for really sharing that and reiterating to have somebody else with you on the journey, whatever role you need them to be. And in your case, it was having somebody there as a witness to help you to process. And I love how you said that the mushrooms just opened the door and just allowed the 10 years of work that you've done to come in finally. I just pictured, when you open the cupboard door that kids have chucked everything in and it's like, yeah, I've tidied my room. Yeah, can I open your cupboard door? No. And then you open it and just everything just piles up. That's what came into my mind. It just reminded me of my childhood when I tidied my rooms. Everything was in the cupboard. So thank you for that. And yes, it did answer, and it answered also about plant medicine, because you said plant medicine is so powerful. Is you don't necessarily need to consume it, but you can smell it or visualize it or whatever it is that you need at the time. So thank you for describing that a little bit. And my question is, I'm sure you've heard of Bach medicines, the essence oils, and I know there's a lot of different essences out there and everything, but I'm talking about the Bach medicines because they are specifically I think they're plant medicine. Is that is that a plant medicine? Is that a going away, or is it more of an essence and more of a sort of a remedy as opposed to plant medicine?
Well, I would say that it's both plant medicine and a remedy. Absolutely. I think any time that we're taking plant medicine or any kind of plant, like whether it's drinking tea, right? Like anything like that, if we're doing it with intention, then it's plant medicine. So I used to use rescue remedy for my kids and even my cat when I got my dog, and my cat was very upset about it, and it works very well. Yeah.